Good evening, everybody. This is Gordon from Grinning Goggle Gaming. I almost fucked that up. It's been a while. I am mostly 100% 99.99. Okay, whatever. Healthy. And we are going to pick up where we left off, which was fighting a gigantic black dragon in the swamps of Greyhawk. I'm joking, of course. I thought I'd just give my players a bit of a heart attack. For that. No, you were all level trained. You are level 3s. Oh. Fighting an ancient black.
Level 13?
3. Anyway.
30 what? Did we find them as still level 30?
Yeah. It's out there somewhere. Fuck, where was I? Oh, I am joined by my weird and wacky cast of players. I have Alan playing Xerxes, Nikki playing Siren, Neville playing Beirut, Richard playing Garcarius, and Peter playing... who are you again? Corollas, there we go! It's been a while, forgive me. And, yes, to summarize what happened last time, you guys were attacked, ambushed by some nasty, mysterious people in the streets of Saltmarsh, not Saltmarsh, of Seaton, sorry. After a hell of a battle that did not go exactly the way I thought it would go, because a certain fucking bard decided to cast suggestion on a certain lady. Mm-hmm. You managed to capture the Lady Shalasel, the fiancée of the Duke, and, arranged an escort, caused a bit of a scene in the streets, got yourself to the Ducal Palace, surprised the Duke. Eh?
Did we level up from that?
Nope.
No, we should. We should, because I'm pretty sure we gave the DM a headache from doing that.
Yeah.
Let me think about this. Nope.
Not a full level, just some experience.
You did get experience, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
I didn't get experience for that.
Oh, you
did I
sure
not
about
distribute XP?
Mickey, shush.
Really? Wait, let me double check and I'll make sure for you guys, because it should do it automatically. Holy Moses, do you want to know something? I didn't.
Yeah, we know.
I told you didn't.
So you know when you guys sitting on there, you guys...
I watched that XP like a hawk.
You're now sitting on 10,792 out of 14,000 to get to level 6. And when I distribute this, you are on 13,132.
Kill her quickly.
In the city that's in the hill.
And this is...
Kill the Duke, I'm sure he's worth enough.
No, he's worth 0 XP. Sorry for you.
Well, there's lots of XP on the island I know of.
That's D&D plot armor. They're worth 0 XP.
Yep. How do you think we make things work in our worlds? A bunch of murder hobos just going through like, I'm gonna kill this Duke. That's gotta be worth some XP. Nope, that's not the way it works. Excuse me. Mustn't make me laugh too much. Shit, where were we then? Oh yes, you guys basically escorted her to the palace. The Duke was shocked and awed and surprised, and decided to offer you the services of his expert armorers, allowing you to requisition masterwork weaponry or armor, depending on what you want. You may get one piece of something. Just to remind our audience, a masterwork weapon in my game is basically a +1 to attack rolls and to hit, but it is non-magical. Very important caveat.
I would like a rapier, please.
You want a rapier?
Yeah, bro.
I just realized something. I'm sitting here without a notepad, so I shall grab my handy little sticky notes. So, 2 rapiers.
Would I be able to get my trident masterworked?
No, because it's already magical.
It's a magical item as it is. You'll be able to commission a new trident. And if you find the services of a enchanter who can transfer enchantments for You know,
do something better than
gold
come on,
sink.
fish.
Gold sink. We can maybe do
That's good.
something to that effect.
Why are you looking for a gold sink? I'm still poor.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah, I think it would be better converting this trident to the trident of Fish,
Yep,
what's it?
it?
fish summon
What's
rather than
that?
fish command.
this is a pen.
A pen.
Some
That's
other
awesome.
some other merch. Shit, I've completely lost my train of thought.
Around doing that.
Looks awesome though.
She got arrested.
No, we were talking about the masterwork shit and that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you're
Siren.
commissioning me a new trident.
Yeah, let's say one
Yes.
trident, Siren and Carolus. Do you guys have any requests?
Plate armor.
Either armor.
Plate armor.
Or...
Yes.
For your
Masterwork
monk.
plate armor. Yes. I can sell it.
So you can
That's
sell
not
it.
right.
Yes.
Loophole!
Yes.
Sell it and buy better and magic braces.
Yes. Well, they don't make any magical braces. They only masterwork, so
No, that's why you masterwork the armor to sell it to buy braces from a magic guy.
yes.
Would I be
Luckily,
able
you're
to get
discussing this amongst yourselves and not in front of the Duke. Because he would have told you to go
Duke-
fuck yourself.
The Duke will probably just chuckle about it.
But Siren?
I don't think I can use any armor, and the weapon I have is magic, so I wouldn't be using the services.
Well, the thing is, you can always use it at a later point. Sorry, Mickey, what you mumbling?
Crossbow or armor?
Armor? What about the armor?
Not probably just better leather armor.
You want some leather armor?
I just want better.
Better. Better armor. Well, that you... I don't know, at masterwork.
Masterwork studded.
Can we organize a masterwork crossbow for Oceanus?
Oh.
Sure.
People like to hit me.
And
That's heavy crossbow or light? I think he can only use light.
do light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what were you saying, Neville? Sorry?
would Bayleaf need a weapon upgrade? I don't know what kind of weapon he uses. If it's
No, well, that you will have to. You will have to. I do actually need to move this along a little bit into informing you about something else that may or may not have happened. I would like somebody to roll a percentile die for me, please. Actually, 2 percentile die.
No volunteers.
That's a
Pass on that
23.
thing, Alan.
He's fucking.
Alan doesn't waste time with percentiles.
No, he doesn't.
Who's rolling the other one? Corollas, 54. Okay, interesting. So, after you leave the Duke's presence and you are dismissed and you are returning, I think you guys were returning to the ship, if I'm not mistaken. Or were you going to the Lark and Laurel?
I think it's ship.
Yeah, ship.
We're still in Seaton.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the ship. I
Alright.
don't want to play.
So this is
rock
now-
and roll pub, and then after the pub,
You guys are still pretty fucked up, right? I'm just saying. You have not rested yet. So on your way
Yeah,
back...
no, I'm fairly fucked up.
let me quickly check. I have no wounds, so
I think Corollas wasn't hit in that entire fight.
not one.
I stab Corollas quickly. We're going to the ship.
It's like, how dare you come out of there unscathed? So as you
We're
make your way to
playing
the ship, a couple of things draw your attention. Make me some perception checks, please. That's everybody.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I see nothing.
Speaking of, does someone want this shield?
which shield?
The perception shield. Can't remember what it's called.
I'm not sure if I can use it. Give me a second. Let me check if I can use it, because if I can...
I'm not going to remember to continually switch between my two shields.
I would like to see Carcarius actually marching around the street with these two shields. Like,
no, when I'm walking around just like in public, it's just like this.
Two shields.
Medium. Oh, shields. Yes.
you can use shields.
I can use shields. Haha. So yes, please.
Cool.
Okay, so must I transfer that? Oh, okay, you're going to do it that way. Cool. Whichever.
What way?
Dropping it
sheet.
into party inventory.
Bye bye, shield. You were nice.
Okay,
But I think
so
Shield of Error
with the
catches
two
you.
19s, Carcarius and Xerxes, as you're approaching the ship, you notice something is not right. You can see that there is a small fire. It seems there's like a buzz of activity. You hear some shouting in that. You can also see that there is a fire on deck.
Oh god.
They're more.
Do you
I
increase your
I
pace?
start running for the ship.
And the rest of you guys?
I'm gonna fly to get a better look, but then yeah, also make my way towards.
I'll limp towards it.
I'll carry Kitty there.
Yeah,
She's
you're
not,
right.
she's not looking too well.
Alright.
It's only a flip.
So as you make your way, Xerxes, you are busy flying. You would actually be able to dodge some of the, the crap on the dock and make it more of a beeline towards your ship. You can see that there is indeed a fire, and you can see there is a line, a bucket line that has basically been formed by the crew, busy putting it out. It appears that the flames are coming up from the lower deck, particularly the gangway that basically leads down to your crew quarters. It's also where I've forgotten the idiot's name. What is that priest? Odium? Odium and... for flip's sake. My brain is drawing a complete blank. What is our little friend? Your sea elf friend? Oceanus and the other dude, Bayleaf, where they've been staying. When you get closer and you start running up the gangplank onto the ship, I take it to Xerxes, you'd be landing somewhere nearby as well. You are met by Sergeant Ives, who immediately informs you that the ship was attacked.
God damn it.
By whom?
I know. She's a bitch.
All they can tell you is it was a bunch of masked individuals. They seem to be magic users as they try to set fire to the ship. And Odium has been slain.
Oh god.
And Bayleaf is currently bleeding out.
Where is he?
And Oceanus is, strangely enough, alive.
I hope he's good.
They are
Where is-
on the deck itself, just lying there while the crew is trying to get the fire under control.
Is
Moving over
Oceanus-
to them. Moving over to Bayleaf, and I'll cast Cure Wounds on him.
Alright, so Bayleaf recovers moderately. Luckily, he doesn't actually have a hell of a lot of health, so yeah, you managed to get him back. He's still very, very badly burned. His skin is very, red in patches and that. And he gives a little bit more detail. He says he was sharing a drink with Odium since they are, more or less acquainted. Not the fondest of people, but while you guys were off on your gallivanting around town, they were having a drink downstairs when these guys just appeared out of nowhere. A handful of them.
At least he died not under the influence of an evil god.
This is true. And having a look at Odium's corpse, you notice that his neck has been very cleanly sliced, with a very, very sharp blade. But you also notice that around the edges of the wound, there is this snaking black pattern almost like the poison that affected you guys. And he says, Old Bailey says to you, who the fuck did you guys piss off?
Not guys, me. Why?
Who was it?
I think you were the secondary. They seemed pissed off at all of us.
No, you were just
Happened to be
what
a
do they call it? Collateral.
Well, the thing is, when you were unconscious,
Yeah.
they did want to kill, I think, Beirut.
Um,
Then again, nobody likes me. I said
I
we got
like
a girl
you.
and question the freaking dude who doesn't like me over there, the god. He had something to do with it.
Yes, because the
Wow.
Garden Burl is the entire mastermind of this attack.
that is a
Hey,
fucking tangent.
You know that masterminds always disguise themselves as like lowlies.
always someone you know.
Huh.
The least
That sounds
expected.
That's
I
actually
don't
very
think it
convincing.
breaks when he says that.
But I think we should kill all the guards just to make sure.
Oh my god, you will never forgive us. Jeez.
I'll sacrifice them.
This is getting very,
How
very
about-
dark.
How about
Very
no more stabbing
sarcastic,
tonight? How about no more stabbing tonight?
Yep. Just
Yeah, you'd think
tired.
that you guys had had enough stabbing.
Well, I didn't.
I
While
didn't
this
get
conversation's happening, I'm also busy bandaging up Bayleaf as best I can.
can we
Alright.
figure out the fire, please?
Make me a medicine check, please, Richard. The fire. Well, the
Yeah.
fire
Yes,
seems to
let's
be
check
more or
out the
less
fire.
under control. I don't know if you guys have any abilities that might.
I don't have any
Hasted it.
fire
I
controlling.
think somebody has a scroll of gust of wind, does they?
Yeah, but that
That will
was
make it work.
Yeah, they're just gonna ignite the entire ship.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Set the flames on, or fan the flames. Brilliant.
That's one way we can claim on insurance, though.
To the rain.
Did you pay
We
your
waited like
insurance?
3 months, like a month for the ship to be built. I'm not waiting another month for another ship.
Can you imagine what the excess is on a ship?
Oh,
No.
Jeez.
No, thank you.
Come on.
I like my money.
Yeah.
Hey, I've just found a new gold sink.
I
Insurance, ship
Swear.
insurance.
It includes sinking the ship.
Yeah, like you're standing on the dock, you see this man with this funny little top hat, and he's like, "I'm from the appraisers. I'd like to sell you a policy." After the
Immediately
fact.
shoot a sacred flame at his feet.
No, just
shoot
jokes.
him.
so you a policy.
Out of
Um,
nowhere, they'll just
Sign this contract and your soul.
but
we
yeah,
Mhm.
we need to contact you about your extended warranty.
Some car insurance. Whatever.
did you fill in the certificate and mail it in? That's the question. No. But Bailiff also says to you, he managed to get a killing blow on one of the assailants, but the fucker just disappeared in red mist.
Yes. We know exactly who these people are, except we don't.
Well, we may have caught their leader, so
Oh.
let's wait and see.
I'm too tired for this shit.
I doubt she's the leader. I think she's just one of the pawns, but a higher up kind of a.
Yeah,
Yes.
she was definitely
Yes, she
higher
is.
up than the other fuckers.
I agree.
She's
Yes.
like a lieutenant.
Can confirm.
Can confirm.
Can confirm.
Who is the leaders? Can you confirm?
Can confirm. Yes, but
Okay.
tomorrow.
So you guys basically it takes another hour or so to get the flames put out. You can see that the quarters below deck, about half of them are pretty fucked up. Having a look at the damage and how it originated, Xerxes, you would have knowledge of this. It looks like somebody let off a fireball on the inside of your ship, basically.
I go there and I cast reverse fireball.
Reverse fireball. You just see,
You know,
like
Xerxes,
in the
if you
Matrix.
if you weren't with us, I think you did this by accident.
Mm.
When-
fireballs at people on accident.
I have a question. Where are our horses? Are they over here in Seaton or are they over there in...
I think they're in Saltmarsh.
They
We
have-
rode with the caravan.
Yeah, they're here in Seaton.
Oh.
I think you still have
Something
them
good.
stabled. I think you have a hell of a bill waiting for you.
can
Didn't
cover
the
it.
We're
Duke
friends
say?
with-
Didn't the
we're
Duke
friends
say
with
he'll
the
pay
Duke.
for it? Yeah, didn't he say he'll pay for the stabling?
Is that you like not get out of jail free, get out of stabling free?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's like our IOU. We just give him an IOU.
Okay,
Exactly.
Duke IU.
Yeah, Duke IOU. Duke owes you.
The Duke owes you. But yeah, once you've gotten this fire under control and that, you can see that of the crew, you've lost another 5 Marines in this fight.
What?
They're dropping like flies.
I told you, they're
Hey.
useless.
They
I think we
grunts.
should.
The DM is just giving us more stuff to sink our gold into, because now we have to hire new ones ourselves.
No. Screwed up.
Really? You don't have to.
No, the Duke supplies the Marines, and he said he's
Exactly.
going to supply us better ones.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, but
Andy?
he said anything above and
And-
beyond we paying for.
Yeah, and
Did he?
those other dudes, the other dude's going to start flogging them if they get out of line.
I mean, you can try, but they're kind of dead. Just
Walk
walk it off.
it off. Hey, you dead people,
The guy
walk it
missing a
off.
leg.
I would say wrong campaign. You don't have Necrobar here for that. But yeah, you basically get these flames. It's now about easily around 5 o'clock in the morning after all this. Once again, you get those youngsters to drag off the dead bodies to the temples.
Good.
They're just like permanently stationed at the docks, like waiting for dead sailors to come off of ships, basically.
Okay.
Very welcoming. Very, very nice service that they've got running here. I mean, it's a good
Very
side gig.
professional.
Yeah, very professional. And
Are their
Yeah,
carts
so-
branded with Cyan's symbol now?
but yeah, so you guys, it's up to you guys. You can have a rest now. I could do a long rest for you.
Yeah, rest is necessary, especially if
Yes,
we're
please.
going to be targeted in attacks again.
Do you give any special orders to the crew?
Yeah, sleep in shift.
Don't fuck off.
An eye out.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, it's a bit too disturbing on a burned ship, so I'm going to go back to like the
Yep, same.
the inn, and I'm going to go and sleep there. Thank you very much. I'm pretty sure my room is probably destroyed anyway. How is my blimmin' galley?
The
The
wine!
galley is unscathed, luckily for you.
Yes! The wine is good.
Um,
How's the hold where the wine is?
all the alcohol is secure and safe.
Awesome.
I should imagine the crew would have ensured that as well.
Oh,
Good,
at least
good.
news so far. Yeah, they
Yeah.
left one guy dying on the floor, but they saved the alcohol.
But,
I-
but before I leave to go, I'm going to go give all the guys some ale, and then I'm going to leave and go and catch some shut-eye over there at the inn.
Okay, cool. But I like to imagine that Beiru's like asking for a casualty report. How many barrels of beer? How many barrels of ale were lost? No bottles of wine.
Exactly.
How many hams? Oh, your other little friend was helping put out the fire. Your new employee.
Oh, how sweet of him.
Who's our new
Bailey.
employee?
No, the guy that he has the family and he's gonna look after the animals.
Yes.
The tramp.
The
He
I'm
was
trying to
one I
find the
gave
dude's
like
name.
gold to. I think I wrote it down here somewhere.
To be honest, I made a note, I think.
I did as well, but where is it?
Collateral.
Yeah, I know that was his surname or something.
Arten. His name is Arten.
Arten.
It isn't
I
to
don't
look
care
after
what
our
his name is.
animals on the ship.
As long as he
Awesome.
supplies me with the animals so I can chop
Yeah.
them up.
He's very good with husbandry.
Well,
Arten.
that was going to be the what do you call
plan.
it?
Well, now we get to remodel the internals of the ship.
Ooh.
Make it
No.
black.
It's sand down.
Char black.
Hey, guess what I just found in my notes? The
Oh.
stream tweet.
700.
I did actually do it.
exterior.
No, not that lucky.
Whoops.
Yeah, so Arton is at your ship.
What's
and
his
he was
surname?
helping you out.
Mr.
In the
Collateral.
chat.
Collateral. Is his surname Collateral? Who named him?
We did.
All
We
of you
named
guys
him
did.
Collateral.
You guys renamed him. Collateral.
He didn't have a surname or something.
Yeah,
didn't
we
have a
gave him a
surname.
surname.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? And then later on we'll make him a Sir Collateral.
Oh my god.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I also don't think so.
So he stays a
If you're
mystery.
gonna name anyone Sir, it's someone with the
It's
name
fine.
Comfort.
That might ever happen. Yeah.
Oh, I get it. I
The
love it.
only thing that might happen to his surname is it might have at the end of it at some point, it might get a SR.
SR. I'm not catching.
SNR.
I'm too.
SNR.
SNR. I'm.
He's not
Senior.
having
Oh, senior. Okay, there we
He's
go.
already a senior.
Not
But I get it. I get
Guys are
it.
freaking horrible tonight. Wake up.
No,
the
I have an
That
excuse.
joke
I'm
was all
medicated.
I also have an excuse.
I
Does whiskey
expected
count as
something.
medication?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
I wish I
I
had
expected
whiskey.
something crude or
That looks
crass.
Alrighty,
not
so-
senior.
There's
So
a
no
lot of
other
rest, so you can
special.
get the ship on the go.
Well, that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
So
But,
are they
um,
able to fix the ship in one day?
No.
No,
Don't think
I'm sure the ship is seaworthy. It's got a couple of burns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
the damage that was done to the interior, they can mostly scrub off the scorch marks. Some of the furniture needs to be chucked out, but it's fairly easily replaced. So it's not going to be too much of an effort. I'll say I'm going to roll a die. Sorry, my nose is like super itchy for some reason. 4 rooms were damaged. So it'll set you back about 100 gold pieces to replace the furniture and shit in there.
Why? That's 20. No, that's not. I can't now.
Can take that out. Do we have a party fund? Do we have a slush fund?
I don't know.
No. No.
Don't
There's
think we
nothing
have.
in the party sheet.
No, nothing. Okay, I'll can pay for that.
How's Xerxes' employees?
Hey.
Which employees?
Bro.
Which employees?
The
The
ladies
ladies.
tonight.
Oh, ladies.
Your ladies
Ladies
aren't
of the
here.
night.
They're still in Saltmarsh.
Yeah, they're in a different
Oh.
city.
Oh, they're in Saltmarsh. Oh,
Yeah, no, you didn't pick them up.
Good, good.
Wrong
good.
corner.
Yep. That's the decision we made. Was not.
Excuse me, folks.
You're feeling a little bit lonely there.
Apparently.
He's
how
thinking
about
we
the
can
Steve?
just make that 100 gold up very quickly.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Right.
Am I? Can I pay for it out of pocket?
Yeah, I'll put 50 gold towards it.
I'm not just gonna hold 20.
yeah, I was going to say, if it's 100, then it's just 20 each.
Yeah,
Oh.
let's do that.
Puta
Okay, how
madre.
many gold do you have?
Wow. Sorry about
A
that.
lot.
Exactly. I have a lot.
I have
What
a
did I
lot.
miss?
I have a. I must have
Okay.
60.
We went from sharing the cost to how much gold does everyone have?
I
I
almost
can tell you
hit
exactly
5.
how much everybody has.
No.
we were
Too
just taking
much.
20 gold off. We're taking 20 gold off each to cover the 100
20.
gold replacement.
Cool.
There we go.
Okay.
Did I do the
I
long
took
rest?
20.
No.
Well, I did offer to pay for it.
No, it's fine. It's our ship. Our ship.
So
Okay, our ship, comrade.
sure.
Exactly.
You guys wake up around midday.
Yeah. Everybody had to take care of their own breakfast.
Pretty
I'm
much.
taking care of lunch.
And
Meat is
yeah,
acceptable.
what are you guys doing? I mean, I have no idea.
I would like
Oh, were we gonna help with the interrogation, or were we gonna leave that to the Duke?
Were we? I would like
You
that.
were invited back to the Ducal Palace.
And then get our masterwork stuff commissioned, and then help with interrogation. This is quite something that I want to do, but obviously everyone has to come with me. So it's when we do it, I really want to go and search for a fire elemental in the Dreadwood.
I'm up for that.
While we're there, we can just as well help the dwarves and the other people. We'll probably find one on the way.
Yeah, you guys have got quite a backlog
Few stuff
of
to do.
shit to do.
Yeah.
People running around screaming.
I need to slay a fire elemental so my ring can attune, and then I can actually start to get any benefit out of it.
Okay.
He wants to become Captain Planet. Sorry.
It's fine. I'll get a water elemental one.
that one. Please note.
Okay,
1, 2,
okay.
2.
Before, like when we go back to the Duke's place for the masterwork stuff, now that we have access to libraries there, I want to do one more search for Cadriel info.
Yes, this is something that I actually have a note on that I have been waiting 2 weeks to give you.
Okay. Oh yeah, because wasn't there like an extra piece of info that we didn't have yet?
Yeah, you sold. Fuck, you rolled very well. You sold very well. And you basically were given access not only to the Duke's libraries and things, you were also offered the assistance of old Sharnvale, the court wizard,
Grumpy old fart.
him, as well as his apprentice, which has yielded some results, which I will give to you if you guys want to fast forward. We'll go to the palace.
Yeah,
good?
sounds good.
Unless there's anything else you
Sweet
want at the ship. Old Sergeant Ives, just as you like waking up and some of you are on deck and that, he will mention to the first person that he sees that with the loss of the Marines, the ship is seriously understaffed at the moment. And he would like permission to start looking for replacements.
I'll
Make
stop
sure
as
they're
fast as possible.
Grant.
Get on with it. Don't wait for us. Go.
Yeah, don't find dumb people.
He says there's just a slight issue of compensation. How much are you willing to offer?
Are we hiring Marines or are we hiring sailors?
Basically, what he's going to look for is Marines, but basically freelance Marines now. Not Marines officially in the Duke's employ, but at least, like guys who were, mercenaries basically. They were either used to work in the Navy and decided to, go private, or they've just always been privateers, basically.
I'll say yes, go for it. I don't know if everyone agrees with me, but this is my suggestion, is get a mix of sort of medium armored people, ranged people, and potentially 1 or 2 spellcasters.
And hopefully guys that have a little bit of brains.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
Cock.
So he
Stuck
says,
a
average
medic in
cost
there
for
as
them.
well.
yeah, well, that's exactly what I was busy looking up for you guys. Give me 2 seconds.
Definitely a form of
Neat
medic.
Shit. I'm trying to remember where that is found. I believe.
Oh. I can do stuff.
Could have sworn it was.
I need to pay bailiff.
They're basically going to be hirelings. Yes, you do need to pay bailiff.
Yeah. There you go.
So you will basically be looking for skilled hirelings, and that is in the player's handbook. Shit, I knew it was somewhere.
I remember, I vaguely remember you saying something about 5 gold pieces per day for a Marine.
I want
Per 10 day.
Per 10 day.
So,
Yeah, I think it's
Per
per week.
I remember 5 gold though.
Which is, I mean, half a gold a day.
That's what I paid Bailey for his trial period. Was 5 gold for the 10-day.
Well, I don't have that much lives.
A skilled hireling is 2 gold pieces per day. An untrained is 2 silver pieces per day. But considering that you guys are working on a ship, speaking of which, you guys got a bunch of loot in it. Do you share any portion of said loot with the crew?
What?
No, they're in the Duke's employ, so the Duke pays them because remember we're getting the Duke shit.
So you don't even give them a bonus.
That sounds actually right. Legally.
Well, if they were actually useful, yes.
Yeah.
They would get a bonus.
Well,
So far, they haven't been useful. They've been dying.
our ship has burned, so no.
My argument against giving them a bonus is they are a collective unit, and if they can't, if some of them can't follow orders, then all of them need to get whatever, face the repercussions of that.
Of course.
Alright, so you're going about the whole unit cohesion thing. Cool.
Normally I wouldn't, but that sounds fair.
So the replacements that you need, if I remember right now, it's these 5 guys, and I think you lost 4 before. So that's 9. Are you looking for just like getting in some untrained guys? Although I think with Marines they would have to be skilled.
Marines need to be skilled, but do we need crewmen? Because the actual crew to operate the ship don't need to be skilled.
Yeah, they can be untrained.
Do we need to replace any of those?
Yeah, there were actually some that were also killed in the attack.
Well, I say replace all the Marines with skilled workers, and everyone else, I don't know, they just need to know how to work a ship. But the rest of the crew can train them, I guess, or teach them.
Okay, so the skilled is going to be 18 gold pieces a day. Though I will say for the benefit, let's make it a monthly amount. So what's... Oh, my brain does not want to do maths. 540 gold pieces a month.
Are we going to use the ship like anytime soon? Can we pay once we actually
Not anymore.
Well, it depends. What do you want to do with the ship? Because if you're going to be going inland, you could always hire your ship out to do, to make money for you.
I mean, we can let it be a merchant ship for now while we go inland.
So yeah, my opinion is we need to just check the notes here. Beggars coming in from the west, assault on West Keep, Killington, Sea Prince's border, siege activity on the fortress. So yeah, that, and I want to go to the Dreadwood if we can. There's lots of stuff we can do on land at the moment.
There is.
And there's also the door plans.
I will also say that considering your mission's success to the Isle of the Abbey, the Duke might also requisition the services of your ship to start moving men and equipment to the island. Specifically, after this month of being away or being busy in that, since you've returned. Thank you. You actually just reminded me of this as well. Remember, the Duke was going to reach out to certain knightly orders to see if they could get some paladins and shit in to help clear up the undead.
Oh, yes.
They have arrived.
Okay.
One of them that actually will make their way towards you is somebody that you are very, very familiar with. You would recognize the very buff form carrying the big mace of a certain father from Burl.
Oh,
Ripped as fuck.
yeah.
And he is leading a couple of his young acolytes who are similarly armored, just not as as buff as he is. old Father Erish. I still like how my note is the buff human cleric of Paylor.
Same.
Well, then, are we going to go and sort out that island, come back? Because that's like a few days there and back. And then we're going to the trip after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really think that on the way there we put together a plan of action. If all of them are surrounding that orb, I can do some maybe like a cone attack or a fireball, like a sonic blast or fireball, right? Will do a fair amount of like radius damage.
Look, I can also destroy them.
So we can go first, and if we don't succeed, then plan 2 or step 2, phase 2 would be to leverage the paladins.
I would say rather take the paladins, you guys, everybody over there to the crystal. And then if you guys don't succeed, the paladins and that, don't the paladins also have channel divinity?
Yeah, they would.
Then
but I'd say
as well.
I'd say best is we go with this group that's going to set up on the Isle. We have their assistance to get rid of the undead, and then we can make sure that the paladins secure the crystal as well.
Yeah. What I can do is I can go and take a walk up over there, go check them out, see how, do like a head count kind of a thing. Or Xerxes can fly up and go do a head count of them, come back, and then we just work how we're going to infiltrate in.
Yeah.
Bubs and I will have a look. We're there, coming on our ship, right?
Yeah. Basically, what has arrived in town, answering the Duke's call, is Father Erish and his couple of acolytes. You'll see there's a couple of other priests of various faiths, but the largest military contingent is a group of paladins, basically, that are known as the Knights of the Watch. And they are, you guys would be sort of familiar with them. They are an ancient order. I mean, they've been around for several centuries, and they've always been tasked with protecting this valley, basically, that Kierland is part of. They're based in the Grand March, which is just to the north. And they basically have free reign by these kingdoms from Kierland to Grand March to Bissell to, yes, I know the place's name is Jeff. No, I'm not going to go into that history of why it's called Jeff. But you know that these guys operate, think of them sort of like the Knights Templar in a way. They've got a number of fortresses and citadels and things and strongholds set up all over the place, basically protecting, just blanket protection for travelers and such. But included amongst their numbers is several very powerful paladins of various gods. So in total, there's maybe about 30 of these guys that have come to the Duke's call.
Okay, so we don't need to get help from any skilled workers just yet.
Really?
Well, these guys are not
put the word out.
You can go and start sourcing people or getting names or whatever, but we don't need to use them for this next mission.
You'll need to fill up the crew's ranks one way or the other. So might as well do it now, and then it's done. Then we know you've got a full contingent. You do have space on board for about 20 passengers. So bringing these knights and things with all their equipment might be a bit of a tight squeeze if you were just using quarters. But most of them are going to be content camping out in basically the cargo hold.
That's what I'm going to say. That's where the acolytes can go. Yeah, the lowlies.
But basically, you'll give quarters to the higher ups, and the grunts will be put in the cargo hold.
So
do we have any cargo?
Skilled workers at the moment. It's because if we're down 9 people and there's 20 in the hold, that's 29. There's 30 of them. We want over.
Yeah, if you wanna leave off getting the Marines, then you'll have those extra bunks as well. So,
so that's what.
Like we should be fine there, and then when we come back from this trip, we look at getting the Marines to protect the ship when it's running as a merchant ship.
Well, Eyes will basically put out the call, in the meantime, and like basically let the word be known that the next time the ship comes into port, there might be several jobs available, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The unskilled guys, you find tons of them at the docks. There's always people looking for work.
Yeah, I was going to say by the docks there should be crap tons of unskilled. But also, if we have a trouble with space, it's not a problem. We just get a couple of rowboats tied in the back and off we go. Just throw them in the rowboats.
I was thinking
very
that too.
slowly. Just go very slowly with the boat.
I don't know how well that's going to fly with these hoity-toity knights.
It's just for the grunts.
Yeah, they listen. Even the grunts are hoity-toity.
If they with heavy armor, if they fall in the water, they sink.
I mean, these guys, they serve. I mean, Saint Cuthbert, Hieronus, Pholtus, Alutor, Mayin, a whole bunch of the military gods. I don't really think you want to piss these guys off and such. Be nice, basically.
Okay, so we're going to head out to that after we've done the interrogation thing.
Yeah. So you guys head off to the Ducal Palace, meeting, some old friends along the way, basically. Just passing and greeting as they're on their way to your ship. Arriving at the palace, you can see that security is still on high alert, basically. Standing orders have been left to summon the Seneschal, old Shanvale, when you arrive at the palace. And he appears shortly after you show your faces and leads you down into the dungeons. It's a bit of a winding way. He actually takes you... The route that he takes you, it goes down about 4 or 5 levels. So you think, wherever they're keeping this bitch, it's deep underground. And as you're passing, you also notice there are numerous guard posts along the way as well. You find it odd that, considering the size of Seaton, that the Duke has such a very large dungeon. A hell of a lot of prison space. You figure, from what you've seen going down into the bowels of this place, he could probably, squishing them all in, put around 2,000 bodies in his prison. Which is saying something, considering that the town is only about 10,000 people. Actually, you guys can give me a history check, please. Roll me some history, just to see if you know a little something.
Nope.
I don't know diddly.
I still need to find out what that other Cadriel info was. Huh?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you this now, because you're actually walking with Shanvale. And he will share it on the way down. History, her story. Ah, bloody nose.
I did it.
Did you lose it?
Of course I would know. Wink.
Huh. Now, if only I could find my note. One moment, please. That's frickin' weird. This is still not the note that I'm looking for. What the hell? I've done something funny. My notes are not... I'm not finding what I'm looking for now. What did you guys roll? Sorry, I haven't got that screen open.
We got there's a 25 and everything.
Shit. A 4 for Carcarius, a 3 for Beirut, an 8 for Xerxes, a 7 for Corollas, and Siren for the win with a natural 20 for 25.
Yeah, we're all not history buffs. We don't care.
I'm not a history buff. I just know stories.
Supposed to be good at history because I've read many a book.
Many books. Aha, this is the one I'm looking for. Alright.
My eye.
Siren, you know that the Duke has not actually been in charge of Seaton for very, very long. The king basically installed him over the local Viscount, who is the Viscount of Salenmoor. I don't know if anybody's making notes of this shit.
I'm trying, but my hands are beeping.
You would have also picked it up with your cavorting in town and that. That not all of the people of Seaton are happy with this change in governance. Many of them are loyalists towards the Viscount, or more particularly the House of Second Forth. Secunforth. And the Viscount, the current Viscount, is Cronin Second Forth the Third, and he's still banding about town, but he's currently residing outside of town in his own little manor house in the countryside, as he does not want to step on the Duke's toes, so to speak. At least that is what you have heard.
I don't know him.
Carcarius.
Yeah.
As you guys are making your way down the stairs, Sean Vale will pull out a small journal. It's not very large, about that big or so. You can see that it is covered in leather. It is also somewhat waterlogged. And now I need to grab yet another note. There it is. And I don't know if you want to take the time to read it a little bit now. You can. Otherwise, you can read it a little bit later. Once you're finished with your business here. But you will see there's also a couple of notes that have been basically folded in a very tidy handwriting on much newer paper. Where basically they've taken some of the more damaged portions of what appears to be this journal, and they've gotten a couple of other things out. You already know about the Kingdom of Nyrund. Sorry.
Yeah.
There is another name that you can see mentioned several times. I just want to quickly grab my actual book so I can tell you. You've already seen one of the names is the Tamarot, which you have
the ship.
Yeah, which you have heard of before, which is the ship. The other name that you pick up is a name that appears to be possibly the captain of said ship, and the name is Syrgaul. Syrgaul. In terms of the other thing that you were looking for, which was more information specifically on Cadriel, you also passed a short little note where you basically is a short history of what they know, of what they've been able to fathom out of Cadriel's endeavors. One of the main things is that you know that he was a particularly vengeful tool of Procan in removing certain elements from the seed that Procan finds distasteful. One of these things in particular is the undead. And one of the principal deities that Procan has a major beef with, that Cadriel has been in many battles against, is, no jokes, Orcus. Not your friend Orcus, though.
The demon lord of the undead.
Correct. So, take that as you will. What is the time now, guys? It is 8 o'clock. I was just thinking maybe before we go down and start the interview, I feel like my voice needs just a little bit of a break. Shall we take a 5-minute breather? And then when we come back, we'll do the interrogation. All right, folks, on the stream listening.
I need to change my prepared spells because that's one of the reasons I needed to rest.
Yes, that's right. You can do that now. I'm not going to bother too much.
You wanted to change your spells, and before we go in, there's something that I wanted to do as well.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll do that when we come back. All right, folks, on the stream, we will return in about 5 minutes or so, hopefully. Be back now. And we're back. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. I must remember to look up at the camera there. And anyway, you guys are down in this deep, dark dungeon. You've been given a bit of information. Eventually, you get to a floor where you're no longer going down more stairs. You can see there are a shit ton of guards down here. Outside one of the doors, you notice two figures, one of which is very familiar to you. The Duke is waiting, first of all. And standing next to him is a young man, early 20s. He's basically got like a bucket cut. You know what I mean by a bucket cut, right?
A bowl cut.
But long, right? Your first thought is this like some really like a page that's aged out or something? But you actually see that he's wearing robes that are very similar cuts, just a little bit plainer to old Shaggyhowl. And Shaggyhowl actually introduces you and says, "This is my apprentice Hendrik."
Okay.
He's the one that assisted with the research.
Okay. Well, thank you, both of you, for your assistance in that.
You're very welcome.
We're a step closer to finding out what we can do with this crystal.
Yes, well, be sure to keep me informed. I have a interest in such strange magical devices that just happen to fall out of the fucking sky into my principality, basically.
Well, I have still got our form of contact, and I promise it won't always be at 3 a.m, unless dire.
He says, as I grow older, I find myself sleeping less and less, so if it does happen to be 3 a.m, it shouldn't matter too much. There's a fairly good chance you'll find me awake, regardless. Magic waits for no man, after all. But as you close the gap, the Duke greets you and says, thank you for joining us in this interrogation. I must admit, it's one of the few times in my life that I'm a little bit at a loss at how to proceed. So, as trusted members of my court, I am very curious to hear your thoughts. How do you think we should handle this situation? Let me give you a little bit of additional background. The Lady Shadowcell not only is apparently a very beautiful assassin, she also happens to be a distant relative of the king. You heard her mention in our presence something to do with the Silent Ones. Shaggyhowl, would you like to tell them more about the Silent Ones? And Shaggyhowl basically starts reading off a little bit of a list to you, explaining to you how, you would know some of this history anyway. The people of Kierland are mostly descended from the descendants of the Swuing Empire, okay, or the Swuing Imperium. Which was a huge empire that went to basically fought a huge magical war against another kingdom to the north that was also very magically powerful. And they basically decided to cast the end of the world spell on each other. And basically how that was, these people retaliated was the Swuing Imperium turned the other kingdom into a giant fucking desert, which is just across the mountain range to the west of Kierland and Jeff, etc. And the wizards, the remaining surviving wizards of that kingdom, in turn cast something called the what was it called? Now I'm gonna fuck up the name. The Rain of Colorless Fire, which basically caused magical chaos and destroyed large swaths of the Soul Imperium, and the survivors of the Imperium basically migrated to the east and founded many of the kingdoms, in addition with some of the other peoples of Earth. And what he then goes on to tell you is that the Silent Ones are an order of magically gifted individuals. Every once in a while, they go out throughout the kingdom of Kierland looking for very specific descendants of ancient Soul bloodlines. Most often, they are magically talented in strange ways, and they basically recruit them. But they have been in decline over the last few centuries, and nobody really knows much about them at the moment. The one point that they do mention is there is an old tower just to the south of the capital city of Neildra, called the Tower of Silence. And it is believed that the Silent Ones are based out of the Tower of Silence. And that's basically the short history that he's given you.
Where's that tower?
Just to the south of Neildra, the capital. North of the Dreadwood.
Okay, so we should get there. As we're going through the Dreadwood.
As us hack and slash our way through the Dreadwood on our way to this place. Yeah, it is certainly an option.
Well, there's a lot of things in the Dreadwood we want to find, so...
One thing that he does mention... nobody knows how to enter the tower. It has no doors. It has no windows. That's why it's called the Tower of Silence.
We'll make sure we take a sledgehammer or two with it.
Make our own doors.
But the Duke says, do you have any suggestions how we should proceed, considering the delicate nature of this interrogation?
I have one suggestion, that as soon as I walk in there, I cast the Pain of Strength on her. As a safety precaution.
What does that do exactly?
Disadvantage on strength checks.
Okay, well, she is still
for an hour
secured.
Sure.
You'll actually see the old Shan Veil. There's like a small latch on the door. It's a thick, sturdy wooden door that has like metal bracing. Actually, you would notice this as well. Your passive perceptions. Who's got a passive perception of 14 or higher?
Me. I got 15.
13.
Nobody else. Shit.
Really?
Okay.
You get the perception up. Just out of
next to your senses on your front page, it should say PRC.
How do you get?
Basically, your passive perception is whatever your... if you're skilled in perception, you get your proficiency bonus added to it, or it's your wisdom modifier that's added to it. It's 10 plus your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency if you are proficient in perception, if I remember right.
I need to get me some proficiency in perception.
So,
Perception?
Siren, you also notice this.
Yeah.
Etched into the iron bands of the door, you see a whole bunch of glyphs.
Okay.
But opening up this latch, you can see inside. The room is not particularly large. You'll be able to fit in there. She is currently tied to a chair. And when I say tied, it's actually got like these metal clamps that are over her arms. Her hands are in some sort of strange mittens. She's currently gagged. Her hood has been pulled down, so her black hair has still tied up in that weird bun, but with all the on and off of the hoods and things, it's pulling out in places. She's definitely not as elegant as she normally looks, but you can see that she's just sitting there quietly.
I'm going to ask the Duke if I can still cast the Pain of Strength on her.
Before you do that, if I use command spell, can I command her to tell me what she knows about whatever I ask?
Command is usually just a one-word command. Sit,
I have suggestion.
stand. Shit. Basically.
So
You have suggestion.
Oh god.
Da.
Okay, so never mind then, because I was going to say if I were able to do that, then it would be nice to, if you had it, Pain of Wisdom or something, but you can't, so never mind.
Remember, it's only on checks, not saving throws.
Okay.
I have got Zone of Truth ready as well.
Oh yeah, do that instead.
So you've got it prepared?
Yeah.
The Duke says that will probably come in very handy.
Yeah. If it's with these glyphs and that around, would I be able to cast it in here?
He says and this is Sean Vale, not the Duke. Sean Vale says, don't worry, the glyphs and that on the perimeter of the room, as well as the door, are to prevent anything from getting in or getting out.
Okay.
No teleportation, etc. But he says, otherwise magics will actually still work inside the room. It's just that they will be limited in how much they can affect things on the exterior. You also notice that, like, quite high up, we're talking, the room itself is probably around 20 foot square. The roof, however, is a little bit taller, about 35, 40 feet up. There's a little bit of natural light coming through there. There's like a very, very, very tiny square window. Basically one of those funny jobbies that you find in some of the castle or some like medieval prisons, where it's a small little thing that's heavily barred and then with like a sloping kind of effect going down, so to let in some light, but not lots of it. But yeah, you guys can go in if you want.
While you guys plan what you're going to do, I would like to stand, when we move in, I want to stand in front of her with two daggers, or like a dagger in each hand, Bum's on my shoulder. I'm going to stand right the fuck in front of her, like as scary and menacing as humanly possible. So Bum's with eyes of annihilation, like.
I'm not sure if she would be intimidated by a dragon wearing glasses. I'm just saying.
Well, if she was paying attention in that fight and saw one of her...
yeah, she would know what Bims is capable of.
True.
Hit the ground previously. So, yeah, my idea behind that is I just want to look very fucking intimidating.
And also knowing her skills, she would also have noticed that. So you're saying, Mickey?
I'm just laughing at the situation. I'm enjoying myself.
All right, so...
As soon as I walk in, I'm still going to cast the Pain of Strength on her.
Alrighty. What does it actually do? Does it just like make them weaker, you say? They just have disadvantage. Yeah. So basically you would see her already quite... I mean, she's not a robust woman. She's quite petite. But somehow she becomes even more petite. Fragile looking.
Yeah, and if I do happen to hit her, she gets extra necrotic damage too.
Okay. God, you just chose the wrong party.
The Duke would have warned you in uttering that about her being. Well, he's also a distant relation to the king, to handle the situation delicately.
No. Yeah, well, my main purpose is to give her... No, my main purpose is to give her disadvantage on strength checks in case she tries to free herself. She immediately imposes disadvantage on that. So it's just to weaken her.
So as you guys come in and Xerxes is standing there, Bim's on his shoulder, glaring at her through the glasses of annihilation, these daggers in hand, Make an intimidation check for me, please, Alan.
Cool. So, like, I thought she had a sack on her head. So, like, as soon as we took that off, I would be in front of her. Like,
oh no. She has been. This is gonna sound weird. Desacked. She is not hooded at the moment.
Oh.
But she is still muzzled, so to speak.
I don't think that's how it works. Ooh.
I wonder. Yeah. Okay. She kind of raises an eyebrow towards you, Xerxes, and you can see she kind of sits back a little bit in the chair as much as she can. So you definitely get the feeling that she is intimidated.
and just staring at it.
And the rest of you, what are you doing? How are you situating yourself in this?
I'll go stand in a corner and watch.
Behind her, in front of her.
I'm gonna stand close and I'm gonna start casting Zone of Truth.
All right.
It's 10. Yeah, it's 10 minutes. So.
Oh, okay. So it's quite a length. Are you doing it as a ritual? You're not burning a spell slot for it?
No, I need to burn a spell slot. It doesn't. I don't think I can.
Oh, it still just takes 10 minutes to cast. Oh,
no. It lasts 10 minutes.
Oh, it lasts 10 minutes. Okay,
it's an action to cast, but it lasts 10 minutes.
I was very not with it. Bad DMing. Bad DMing. Anyway, all right. So you cast Zone of Truth. Basically, she needs to make some sort of. Is she still visible in the thing? You can go for it.
I'm just going
fail.
She fails. So were you standing? Oh, okay.
I ignited how's the lighting in this room?
Corollas, you feel a hand on your shoulder. The lighting is dim. You can see you're a dwarf. You feel the Duke's hand on your shoulder, and he says that will not be necessary.
Okay. I'll just holster it in.
Basically, you can keep it out, just lower it.
Just don't ignite it.
Yeah. Just don't do any magic shit. As she's busy looking at all of you guys' black mob of hair on her head, you see Shaggyhowl to your side, and he's also busy casting a spell. First of all, he's cast Detect Magic, and he's picking up a couple of things on her that he informs you about. For first and foremost, he says there is something about her face, her head in fact, that is creating some sort of magical aura.
Ooh.
A mask.
And you see he attempts to dispel it.
That's going to be my next thing.
And he fails.
It's a male. Oh.
Would you like to attempt to dispel it?
I'll just ask him, like, how strong did you attempt your dispel?
He says, well, to use the vernacular, he attempted to dispel 6th level spells.
God damn it. And can he cast 6th level? Or was it...
He's a fucking I'm wizard. Good. Of course he can.
Flat her face.
Who did you think you were dealing with? Some conjurer of cheap tricks? No. He says he has attempted it, but he says he has a feeling that it is some sort of glamour. Something about her appearance is being hidden.
Yeah, is it only her face, only her head, or her entire being?
Well, from what he can see, he can only see the fleshy part that is exposed. He cannot see through her clothes.
No, but then other fleshy parts that
not
are
with that spell, he can't.
Other fleshy parts.
Okay, if I lift up her sleeve so that her forearm is exposed, does that show it as well?
It does.
Did he take a lock of hair for testing?
I will slowly back away out of this room.
You're gonna cut off a lock of hair.
Yeah, what happens if you do that? I ask him.
No,
Did he try it?
Go for it.
I'm not gonna try it.
Is anybody gonna try it?
I'm gonna ask him. Did he try it?
So I'm just gonna ask her straight.
Like,
What sort of glamour are you using? Who are you?
Hold on a second. Calcareous? She's
wait.
gagged. Yes,
Yes.
no question. Are you
my-
glamored? I've
She can choose not to answer. That's the other problem.
One blink for yes and two blinks for no.
no, she can nod her head and she can shake her head.
I'm trying my best to give you the expression that would be giving you.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I would have to
Would-
really maneuver my face and attempt to do some serious.
Seanville, would there be any danger in letting her speak?
He says there might be minimal danger to us, but I should be able to countermand any spellcraft she casts.
Yeah, because
Are you capable of counterspelling at all? No?
I am not, unfortunately. I'm only trained in the clerical ways.
I'm
Well, you know,
more trained in the martial ways of kicking her ass.
I can counterspell with a
I mean-
fist to your face.
I mean, a knife down the
Okay,
throat.
I've got an idea. If I hold my hand in front of her mouth, okay, and if she starts speaking any kind of magical mumbo jumbo, I could just clasp it over her mouth so that she shuts up.
Your dexterity is high
Bites
enough
you.
that I'd allow that, yeah.
hey.
And then she
Yeah,
bites you.
so let's try this again, and I'll take out the gag.
And I'll place my hand close to her mouth.
How big is Beiru's hand? Is it as big as her
Pretty
face?
damn big.
Beru is a furball.
she can't actually see us.
Yeah, it's basically kind of thing. You
That's
just see
fine.
the
I mean,
eyes.
she doesn't have line of sight on any spells either.
That's also true. I didn't think of that. The only thing she can cast on is his hand. Fuck.
Fireball on his hand.
Hey, that's D&D for you folks. Don't say we didn't teach you anything. This is how you fuck up a spellcaster. Put your hand in front of their mouth, of their face.
We'll talk.
Just sneak up behind them, put your hands around their eyes. You can't see anyone now.
So
We have to do that.
if we will try all this. If it doesn't work, then I'll try and cut off a tiny lock of her hair. Check what happens.
Alright,
Maybe a
so
big explosion.
you pull out the gag. Beiru's hand is nearby, but not
I'll ask
blocking
again.
speech.
Who are you? Why the glamour?
She says, "You know who I am, and why
Are you
not?
truly hurt?
Of course. Who else would I be?"
An ogre.
Is the real Mariana alive?
She sits before you.
Okay, fine. Well, Zone of Truth works then.
No, I'm just
Why were you after Siren?
She smiles. Good
yeah,
job.
she gets it.
And
you
a
mentioned
favor to a
something
friend.
And you mentioned something about the rest of us. That she wasn't the prime objective. Who was?
You all were.
You're my friends, remember?
Why?
I don't get told why.
Who's your friend?
I have many friends.
I
Don't
like
be
her.
coy, the one who hired you.
I like her. She thinks smart.
But many friends hire me.
Who's your favorite?
She looks at
You
you
had to
like
pick-
with a...
If you had to pick one friend to be in this room with you right now, who would it be? Quickie. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What message? No, he doesn't have a message. He only said hi to me though.
She says...
God damn it.
And she like
Did
glances
that pressure
over...
not work?
No.
Hi. Yes.
She glances over at you, Corollas, and she just like gives you a smirk before turning her gaze again towards, basically going from Xerxes with the knives. She seems to be a lot cooler now. And then she looks at you, Carcarius, and you, Siren, in turn.
Yeah.
And she says, why do you want to know?
I want to say hi.
Sorry, can I ask a question, Carcarius?
Yeah.
Does this spell work? Anybody asking her questions or only you?
No, anyone. Anyone within the circle.
Technically, I need all of you to make a...
Yeah, technically we all
Wisdom
need to
save.
actually roll for this.
Okay.
Except me.
What do we roll?
Oh god, I just realized how poorly this could go if you guys fail.
Help
probably go-
her.
What is it, eh? Wisdom save.
Yeah, DC 16 wisdom save.
Yep.
Is he 16?
Sorry, charisma save.
A charisma save.
Charisma save.
Charisma
Yeah.
save.
Okay,
I'm gonna
ignore
fail.
my first one then. Oh my word. Rolled
Also,
exactly the same for both.
You?
I made it.
I need
I
a
failed.
I see, so I'm busy trying to add it for you now. I just needed to find
okay.
the right
Siren
one.
and Beru have to tell the truth.
Carcarius, tell
There we
her
go.
I said I just want to say hi.
I added
the
the
guy.
effect for you as well, Ellen.
I forgot his name. What's his name?
Okay, cool, perfect.
In my notes. I don't remember names.
Are you talking about your favorite friend?
Yeah, my favoriteest friend in the world.
She's
Okay.
probably.
Straight charisma.
She's probably.
Wait, why are you
Diamond
rolling
question.
charisma saves?
It's a charisma save.
Is it a charisma save? Oh, so
Yeah.
So far only Corollas and Xerxes.
I have no charisma, but I saved.
I don't remember his name.
10.
Oh, there it is. No, yes, there it is. Wait.
And Sean Vale, does he?
Okay, I found his name.
I'm actually trying to get the Duke and Seanvale's NPC stats up quickly. I can't remember if I
It's gonna be a
created the
mess.
custom PCs for them.
I hate
So,
you.
because I saved, what happens now?
You don't have to tell the
You
truth.
don't have to tell the truth.
Truth.
And nothing but the truth.
But Beirut, Siren, and Beirut and Siren are compelled to tell the truth.
Uh-huh.
Like, you can avoid answering the question or,
Be vague.
like, tell the truth in your understanding of it. Like she's doing to dodge questions.
Okay.
So it's a charisma save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Duke fails. Sean Vale does not.
I say hi.
I'm gonna ask her, what's her favorite color?
Sorry.
No, hold on a second. First thing I want to do is, seeing as my hand's so close to her mouth, I'm going to turn her head towards me and look her straight in the eye and I'm going to say,
Ooh la
which
la.
friend of yours hired you to take us out?
Let's say this is like a really ooh la la moment. That's me. That's Siren saying this.
Because Carcarius likes being vague about his damn questions. I'm being direct. I'm being specific.
Yeah, now she's just
Who
not answering
wanted
you.
to kill me?
His name.
Wish I could slap her.
Why do you want to know?
Because I'd really like to know who wants to kill me, so I can go kill them first.
She laughs.
Maybe I have tried that before.
We'll pay you more than they paid you. Just tell us.
How much did they pay you?
I think it's more loyalty than payment. Technically.
But still, how much did they pay you? I'm interested to know how much we're worth to someone.
You were a freebie.
You think you're... I'm just kidding.
Should we ask that?
But
I'm going to do this again because the glasses just ruined the effect.
you can't do that.
No, but yeah, she's just grinning at you. The Duke pipes up at this point and he says, "Why are the silent ones involving themselves in my business?" And she sits there for a moment and she says, "My dear, because they can."
Like you.
Does she
So,
need all the fingers? I look at
your suggestion spell, what save does it require?
Oh. Yes.
and I look at the king and or the duke and go,
Thanks.
"You need all of these fingers."
There's a... Hold on, I can read. It's a wisdom save.
Sorry.
Okay.
The Duke responds
Would-
to Xerxes and he says, as a member somewhat removed of the royal family, I don't think it would go over well in the higher circles of the kingdom if you were to summarily remove fingers from the lady. Let's just say that her family connections, despite whatever her other allegiances may be, if it were to come out that you have harmed her, and this is the Duke now being completely truthful, he says they will hunt you down to the ends of the planet.
Is it safe to say that I fucked up royally? It's a
Yes.
joke. It's a joke.
Wait, zone of truth. Yes.
Yes.
Just a thing to note. I want to take particular note to her mannerisms and everything as well.
You
While we're
have said so
doing
before.
interrogation. Yeah. Oh, you remember me saying it before. Okay, cool.
And I look at someone and go, "What on earth did you do?"
And-
You gotta tell the truth.
Or not say
Or
anything.
just not say anything.
She says, "Come now, dear, don't be coy. Tell them what you did."
What? Sorry, were you talking to me? I zoned out.
Mhm.
Yeah, I asked you, "What did you do?"
I don't know how to word it. Good question.
Anyway,
I made some important people mad.
hypothetically, of course.
Hypothetically, of course.
Sorry, I forgot. I'm
No.
supposed to be in character.
So, as
I,
then, your
Make people mad. Yeah.
suggestion spell,
Yeah.
could it compel her to give us information?
It could, but you need to be very specific with it. Of course. As she could omit the truth.
Yeah, so it's the same as Zone of Truth.
You're also assuming that the bard's magic will work on me again.
Well, it got you the first time.
I have assistants that may work, that may make it work.
That was luck.
And you couldn't cast any spells since then, so
Also, I wasn't the primary target, so I think.
She sighs loudly from behind your hand, Beirun. She says, "Is there really any point to all this?" And she looks to the Duke and she says, you know you have to let me go.
Out of frustration, I'm gonna cast a spell magic on her.
Okay. So I need you to make a... That's now a good question.
So it's make an ability check using spellcasting ability.
So for your
DC
wisdom.
is 10 plus spells level.
Mm-hmm. So make me a wisdom roll.
Come on. So, shit. Yes.
Okay. Here's a question. Does that get proficiency modifier as well?
Hey.
No, it doesn't. No.
It's just a straight ability check. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So,
Yeah, straight against wisdom. So 22. 23.
I don't want to raise my
Alrighty.
hands.
So,
What am I?
interestingly, I'm going to allow this just because it was a fucking natural 20 as well. Something happens to the glamour that you have been made aware of. Beiru, you see it because A, you are paying careful attention and you happen to be quite close to her. Xerxes, you also see it because you are quite nearby. And you are also attuned to specific kinds of magics of an arcane nature. For a moment, you see a shimmering, while her features, her physical features, are the same. You know, her face looks the same. Her nose is the same size. It's not like she's a fucking half orc underneath there or something. She is still a beautiful, petite, young human woman. However, you notice that her skin becomes incredibly white. So white that you don't think there's any pigment. You notice that her eyes, her irises, are clear. And you notice that her hair is white.
do I get any sense of undead from her?
No.
Is she blind?
Dead.
No, she's not blind.
Out of character, I think it's.
Make me
Are you an albino?
either...
You just don't
No,
ask people if they're albino.
Make
ginger.
me a nature
Well, it's
check.
either that or she's a vampire.
Make me
She's
some
a
nature
ginger.
checks.
She doesn't have a soul. She has gingivitis.
I was going to say, her skin. How did her skin appear?
Very, 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 very pale, very white.
Like milk.
Wrinkly or not
No,
wrinkly?
Clear. Like, beautiful. She's still a beautiful
Ooh.
woman.
Smooth.
On
Wow.
point.
Very smooth.
What is going on with these rolls tonight, folks? That's
We
an
wanted
18 for
nothing.
Carcarius, a 20 for Corollas, with a natural 20, I should say.
Yeah.
Xerxes
For
is
non-
17.
Yeah.
Siren, you're a 19. Beiru, I don't even want to talk about you with a 6.
The most natural of the bunch.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, to everybody but Beiru, who has apparently never seen such a person, she is an albino. She is completely... There's no pigment. At all. With your previous check on the Soul Imperium, you will also know that many of them were actually albinos. Here in Kierland, they interbred with other peoples, and so it's a lot less prevalent. But you would also know that, and old Sean Vale would tell you that the majority of the people recruited by the Silent Ones are those who have albinism.
Okay.
Weird fact, but there it is.
I'm just laughing at her.
I guess it makes sense for the glamour then, because if the silent ones recruit mostly people with who we know, it would make it easy to spot them.
Pretty much. They stand out in a crowd.
Did the Duke and Chardonnay see this?
Chardonnay?
Yeah.
Did the Duke and his wine happen to see this? Sorry.
I'm now picturing the Duke standing there the entire time with just a glass of wine and sipping it in.
That would be a dukey thing to do. Fuck, it's his castle. I mean, Seanvale. Seanvale and the Duke would notice this, yes. Like I said, the room is not huge.
What does Sean Vale say about it? What's his opinion on the matter?
He says
what kind of a spell could it be?
He says
that's what's on her.
Considering that it reasserted itself so quickly, despite the spelling of the magic, but she's now looking normal again, like you've seen her a dozen times before. The glamour is in effect. It was just like you managed to poke a hole through it for a brief moment. He says it appears to be some sort of permanent enchantment. It is possible that she is wearing something on her person that is altering her appearance.
Okay. Did I see her long enough to be able to shift my face to what her face looked like without her current coloring? Talent. I've got such delicious tongue twisting today. Excuse me. Shit. Mustn't do that. Can't do voices. Sorry, folks. Make me a perception check. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
With my rolls tonight.
I can help you. I don't know if I can help you, but I can.
No, you wouldn't be able to help him with this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Why advantage?
Because I'm the shield of Sentinel Shield.
Fuck! Bada, bing, boom, bang! Like some boner. Okay.
If I can't use it, someone else can.
Byron, I'm shaking my fist at you for giving them this fucking shield. Anyway,
you gave it to us to start with.
Yeah, but that was luck of the draw. That was like random luck for you. Now I'm like seriously regretting that this thing didn't get lost in a fucking sewer somewhere. But anyway, all right. So yes, you would be able to copy her likeness, her alternate likeness.
Okay.
Neville, I will also say, considering your nature, heritage, whatever you'd like to call, you would be very familiar with this as well, because it is natural. She says, this is getting awfully boring.
I agree.
Are you going to actually do something with me or not? Otherwise,
you always just tell us
unlock
what you
these shackles
and then it wouldn't be boring.
Wait, why would you go?
If they let you go, I'm speaking to her. If they let you go, just tell him I say hi.
Just tell him whom? What? Huh? I'm not with you.
One of your friends.
Oh, my friend.
Yeah.
Tell him what?
I say hi.
You say hi.
Yeah, can't wait to meet them again.
Does that mean that you're going to allow me to return to the capital? And she looks up at the Duke and she says,
I'm allowed.
Dear cousin.
I'm not.
Okay, well, wait. How about this? Can we at least come to agreement that you or your friends won't try and kill us again if we let you go back to the capital?
Why would we let her go? I don't understand.
We can't.
She is royalty. We can't do anything else to her.
Yeah, but she
tried to kill us in the middle of the street.
So she gets a get out of jail free card because she is.
Well, honestly, the guy behind us actually has. We have no other way to make a call. It's the guy behind us who's in charge. So
we have real evidence.
But if this continues, I regret keeping her alive.
You would have regretted more if you killed her.
No,
And
we
what
wouldn't
was-
have known. She would have turned
Yeah.
into red mist and disappeared.
The Duke says, why don't we step outside for a second and I'll explain some things to you.
Very
May I
well.
have a moment alone with her?
Ooh.
He asked about my brothel and I want swimming alone.
We did pull that move on her earlier, remember?
She says, you're not really my type.
No, we've noticed you like family. Keep it.
We are distant cousins.
It doesn't matter. Keep it in the family, am I right?
Or Xerxes can hang around.
Aren't you like descended from cats or something? Don't
Yeah,
you
and?
interbreed all the time?
No, at least I'm elegant. That's true. Interbreed. At least. Never mind. I'm not going to be mean about it.
She says, I'm sure that is something that we will be able to debate in future.
Of course, I look forward to it.
Doubt it.
So, who were you asking if you could have a moment alone with her? The Duke.
You,
I want to
yeah,
know what he has to say. So,
Duke. Myself and Xerxes.
Just you two.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the rest of you guys okay with this?
Not
Uh,
really, but I'm gonna go.
I've learned it's pointless arguing.
It is.
Let them do their shit. Alright,
At
so
least keep
the
the
Duke says,
seneschal.
She will not be harmed.
yeah,
We give our word.
basically you cannot harm her. But otherwise you may have a private word with her. While I explain to your companions, well, not the birds and the bees, but the horses and the fleas. That is how the kingdom works. And he leads you guys outside. Excuse me, this is not terrible.
Don't give me any please. It's hard to get out of my foot.
He leads you guys outside, leaving Xerxes and Beirut inside with her. Before you two carry on, I'm going to explain something to them. Let me just take a sip of this. Because I literally cannot speak tonight. My throat feels like it is dry. The Duke explains very briefly. Because of the way the families, let me put it this way. There are a number of families in the kingdom, okay? There's basically a rotation of these families. So when the current king, when Kimbertos dies, there is a possibility that a member of any of these families may be elected to the throne. But they have to come from these families. And she is a member of one of these families. So because she is potentially an heir, she is unfucking touchable. She operates above the law.
How about keeping her? No. How about keeping her in prison for life?
that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's like you're not above the law, surely if you commit murder and treason.
You're not above the law as such, but basically what happens is she is going to be escorted to the capital, and she will be judged by her peers. And in other words, she'll be judged by the leaders of each of these royally descended families. And it'll be up to them whether or not they grant her amnesty, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they decide to punish her.
Is there?
In the kingdom, if I remember right, there's 6 or 7.
Okay, so
Yes,
6 or
right.
7 say judges will decide their fate.
Yes, but
And if
keep in
all-
mind that they are all fairly, they're kind of related, so they're tight-knit.
If 4 of them are compromised, then she'll go free.
Possibly.
I did.
Or if
Still
it is
sucks, though.
within their interests, you have no idea. You have never, considering any of your backgrounds, none of you have ever moved in those circles of society. Very few people have. The Duke is one of them, actually, because his family he's basically cousin to the current king. Both him and his brother, who was killed, who he replaced as the Duke, and they are, I know, as a family, they are much nearer related than the others, but even so, there's no guarantee that the Duke would ascend to the throne, for example. It has to be basically decided by these council members. So, into the room. Xerxes and Beirut, what the hell are you doing with this woman?
Well, I don't know, do you want to call it, or do we still have time?
What do you guys think? How long will this take?
Sure. It's
a while.
Does the zone of truth stay in the room, or does it move with you?
It's on an area.
It's on an area. Okay, so that is still, I'll say,
active.
It's nearing the end. There's maybe a minute left of questions with the zone still active.
Yeah, because it's centered on a point of choice. So.
Okay, cool.
Let's try and squash this part of it quickly.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, we can go over a little. We started a bit later. We can go on a little bit.
9 people.
Yeah, 5 minutes. I don't think it will take longer than that. All right, cool. So she's sitting there very passively. You get the feeling that if her hands were free, she'd be sitting there and cleaning her nails or something. she's very patient. Do you still have your hand in front of her mouth?
No. I'll be looking at her and I'll ask her, what if you just stayed in this dungeon forever and I made it look like you just disappeared and ran away? You went and got escorted to your home, and somewhere along the way you just disappeared.
They would find me.
How?
I don't know. But I can assure you,
I'd like to know.
they would find me.
So I'll walk around behind her so that she can't see me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll change to her original form.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll walk back in front of her and I'll say, so who's trying to kill me? In her voice.
In her voice. And she says, that's a cute trick. I've seen better.
Well, still would like to know who's wanting to kill me.
Whoa, I'll be like, what? How's there 2 of you now?
You would have seen the appearance change. I mean, you are standing in the room unless you're blind.
No, I'm thinking like it is actually her.
Okay. She says,
Whoa.
I have said this before. At the risk of repeating myself, I do not know. I was simply told you need to be eliminated.
Yes, and I want to know who told you so that I can go and question them.
My superiors.
And where can I find your superiors? And I'll change my appearance to what she looks like now.
Whoa.
She says, you're welcome to try. If you can find a way into the Tower of Silence, ask them any questions you want.
How do we get into the Tower of Silence?
I don't know.
Have you been in the Tower of Silence?
Yes.
And how did you get into the Tower of Silence?
I was brought there. I was trained there. But I don't know how to get into it.
You use some sort of teleportation magic to get inside.
She shrugs. Above my pay grade.
Interesting.
Let's just say that we have an interest in making sure that certain groups do not accumulate too much power.
Before this
And
thing
are
runs.
we one of... Sorry? So
No. Go for it.
I was going to say, are we one of those groups?
No. You are gnats.
That's... Oh, that's a lovely term.
I want to say, what do you know of Glacier?
She
Say
says,
hi for me. Whoop.
What was that?
She says, if you're referring to one of the Duchesses of Hell, no more than your average country bumpkin. I don't really concern myself with the denizens of the hells.
Yeah. I'm gonna use prestidigitation, but not face her. Flick my finger behind my back. Fart smell.
She says, you are uncouth.
Oh, say excuse me when you fart, lady. Oh, great. And I'll walk outside.
I will say for that, she does giggle. She's not without a sense of humor. And she says, are you quite done? As she looks to you, Beyru.
No,
Or is there some
actually
other
yourself.
insipid question you'd like to ask?
I suppose not, and then I'll switch back to my normal self. Gag her up and walk out the room.
You gagged her. Shit.
Smart.
I was hoping that he would fucking forget so that she could get one last little in. But, okay, so you gag her. You leave the room, close the door. Shagnhowl and the Duke are standing outside waiting for you. And they basically catch you up, and the Duke says that he is arranging an escort that will basically take her by the speediest means possible, which involves Shagnhowl actually teleporting her to the capital, where she will be judged by her peers, as aforementioned.
Oh.
So if you have any other questions, you have basically a day. But he basically says to you, let's walk and talk. And he starts leading you back up to his audience chambers. And he says, you can leave the list of the items you want crafted by my armorers and weaponsmiths with Shagnhowl, and he will take care of it. I believe Shagnhowl has also shared some information with you, Cleric, pointing at you,
Yes.
Vicarious. He says, back to the business of this strange magical crystal on the Isle of the Abbey. No doubt you have noticed the watch members excuse me, that have arrived, the order.
Noticed.
I would request that you ferry them across to the island, and that you make short work of the undead creatures there, as I need to get that outpost built as quickly as possible. He basically tells you that you have a week before the supply ships will start arriving.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we can manage that.
And,
Rapier.
Rapier, yeah, don't worry. I has the list. See?
And can we, while we're here, what are we going to attach that crystal thing to that's on the island to get it? What are we doing with that actually? Sorry. Are we bringing it to Ceta?
No, I think we leave it on the island.
Okay. We do need to think of some sort of way eventually, I guess, like how to attach that to something to get it off without struggling.
I think, if anything, it stays there until we work out how to open it.
Okay.
Because it's not something we want to unleash in a town without knowing what it does.
And after we've killed the undead and we start to inhabit that or fortify that island, I think it should be safer to leave it there as well.
Yeah.
Okay, happy.
Cool. With that, I'm going to say that you guys leave the Ducal Palace. And next week we'll pick up with you guys making your preparations to I assume to return to the Isle, because that sounds like where you guys want to head off first. Thank you very much, everybody, to the people listening in and that as well.
Just one thing before we go. When we're alone, once like when we walk out away from the Duke, I'll fill everybody else in on that the secret ones wanted us out, and that that she confirmed that they're based at that tower,
and that she's not that high up,
and that that she was trained there. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. And her buddies almost fucked you up.
On the contrary.
Our bard has a thing to say about
that. One lucky fucking spell.
That's all you need.
Actually, there's the Bims and the Bard.
Yeah.
And
this is true.
It's the BB bullet.
She didn't hit me once, so nobody hit me.
Yeah, no, listen, not for lack of freaking trying. They tried, but they kept on hitting Richard or Carcaria, should I say. Oh, that was hectic, but anyway.
Look, they were smart. Take out the healer.
Well, that was the order given by her. Take out the cleric.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you guys. It was good to play again after a couple of weeks. We have progressed a little bit with the storyline. Some more interesting shit on the horizon. As usual, you can catch the podcast and the YouTube video in a day or two, as soon as I get round to editing all of that jazz. But yeah, watch our Twitch, and you can rewatch the stuff there. You can also catch us on Twitter, and you'll get all the notifications, and Facebook, etc., etc., etc. Good evening, and we will see you guys next week. Take care. Be good.